Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. I generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a dice chucking game called Strike. And in this game, you'll be chucking dice into an arena, trying to match numbers and be the last person standing at the end of the game. So in this video, we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, be telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Strike is still worth playing 9 years after it was first released in 2012. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel if you ain't already. Hit the like button, leave a comment and all that shit, and we'll see you after this. Bollocks. So Strike is a dice chucking game. Inside the box you have got a gladiatorial-esque arena, right? You'll stick that in the centre of the table in the box here, and dependent on how many players there are, you'll divide the dice amongst each player. On your turn you'll have to chuck a die into the arena, and once you've done that you'll get to make a choice. You can either stop and then it become the next player's turn, or you can continue chucking dice into the arena. If you match any numbers, then you'll take them out of the arena and your turn will be over and you'll go to the next player. You'll notice that on each die you'll have a cross that replaces a 1. If this happens, then the die will be taken out of the arena, right? It's dead as a dodo. Likewise, if any dice come out of the arena or you don't manage to get them in the arena, then these are considered out of the game. At any point the arena is empty, then the player who goes next will have to throw all of their remaining dice into the arena and hope that they match some numbers, right? If there's a cocked die, the rules tell you that you've got to take the die out and roll it off the table and stick it back in, but we don't do that. We just let it stay cocked, and then the player will have to knock it uncocked. And the rules also say that you can move the dice around in the arena. We don't play like that. We just let the dice fall where they may. So you keep doing this, you'll keep chucking dice into the arena, deciding whether you want to stay or pass. And eventually all the other players are going to run out of dice and there'll be one player standing. And if that's you, then you will win the game of Strike. So what do we like about Strike? So the first thing that we really like about this game is it's so bloody simple, isn't it? It's just a matter of chucking the die into the tray, right? I can explain this game to anybody, even my 5-year-old daughter, in 2 seconds, and she understands what she's got to do. There's a very, very simple choice to make. Do you stay or do you go, right? So that means that this game is appropriate for all ages, and there's no fiddly rules or anything like that. It is simply just a matter of chuck your dice in and off you trot, right? So yeah, very, very simple dice chucking game that doesn't require any kind of intelligence whatsoever. Suits me. So the second thing we like about Strike is the fact that the rules stop you from hoarding your dice. I've seen people play this game where they think, well, just chuck one die in, right? And then I'll end up with a load of dice in my pool and I'll just throw another die in, and they don't really play the game because they're too conservative with their dice. But the thing is, if you hoard your dice back and don't gamble, then you're at risk of having to throw all of your dice in when the arena is empty, right? That alone stops people turtling in the corner hoarding their dice. So the final thing that we like about Strike is that this game has a built-in timer in the form of the crosses on the dice, right? This isn't just going to go on and on and on and on, because eventually you're going to be rolling those crosses which deplete the dice naturally, right? So this game is great because it's simple and it's not going to take too long to play, and you can just keep playing it until you get bored, right? So what don't we like about Strike? So the first thing that we don't like about this game is that there's not really anything else in the box, right? Might have been nice if there'd been maybe some cards or something, or maybe a special die that you could chuck into the arena, or a different type of die, like maybe a D8 or something like that would do something different. But as it stands, there's nothing like that in there. It's just a generic die chucker. And whilst we said we like the simplicity of this game, it might have been nice to have the option of making the game a little bit more complex and giving you maybe 1 or 2 extra choices when you chuck your die into the pit. So the second thing that we don't like about Strike is that this could just be made out of a few dice and ice cream tub, couldn't it, really? I mean, you could just grab a bunch of D6s and play this yourself. So is there really any point in buying this game? Well, maybe, because the arena is molded in a special way that allows most of the throws to land on the purple mat, but it's springy enough so that sometimes the dice do spring out, right? So you wouldn't get that if you were playing it in a shoebox or like an ice cream tub or something like that. If you are a bit of a pauper and you like hoarding your cash like you do your dice, then you can just grab a few D6 and a tub and play this without actually buying a game, right? So it's a bit of a shame that the designer didn't add anything that entices you to actually buy this one. So to summarise, is Strike worth your time and bother 9 years after it was first released in 2012? So we're going to say yes, we really do enjoy the simple dice chucking game that you could probably DIY yourself, right? It is a shame that there's no extra stuff that you could maybe chuck in as an option to make it that little bit more tasty. And it is actually nothing to do with bowling. A lot of people have thought this was a bowling game. It makes you think something to do with bowling, doesn't it? Because you've got Strike and it looks like a bit of a bowling ball. So that's a bit of a rip. So just be aware that this is nothing to do with bowling whatsoever. But all in all, Strike is a very quick, fun, push your luck game in the vein of Zombie Dice or Roll For It. Those sorts of really, really quick games that you can play if you've got a spare 5 or 10 minutes, right? So yeah, we do recommend Strike. It's a great game, and if you want to try it out, just grab a few dice and a bucket and start chucking them dice, right? So there you go, that's Strike. Remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel if you ain't already. Hit the like button, comment, all that shit. I'll see you next time.